All right, let's dive in. For any developer, there's this ultimate holy grail, right? The dream of writing your code just one time and then watching it run perfectly everywhere, on a phone, a tablet, your desktop, you name it. So today, we're going to go on a developer's quest to do exactly that, build one app for every single screen. And we're going to explore a really powerful toolset that makes this whole journey not just possible, but actually super efficient.
So here's the roadmap for our adventure. We've got 6 key stages. First, we need to understand the quest itself, the big challenge. Then we'll pick our weapons, tools. After that, we'll get hands-on crafting a responsive UI, we'll slay some performance dragons, unlock some AI superpowers, and finally, we'll master our code. Let's get started.
Okay, so first things first, you've got to understand the beast you're trying to slay, right? For decades, honestly, one of the toughest nuts to crack in software has been creating one single high-quality app that just works seamlessly across this insane landscape of different devices, operating systems, and screen sizes. It's a huge modern-day challenge.
Which, brings us to the one big question that's driving this whole thing. Can you really build one single application that looks, feels, and performs like it was born and raised on every single platform? Is that even possible, or is it just a developer's fantasy? This slide just nails the problem perfectly. Take a look at the left side there. That's the chaos. That's the reality for a developer. A giant, scary list of all the different devices you have to support. All the Androids, the iPhones, the iPads, Windows machines. It's a lot. And then look over on the right. That's the dream, isn't it? One simple, elegant, Hello World app that just works on all of them. The quest is all about bridging that gap from the mess on the left to the clean solution on the right.
Okay, every hero on a quest needs their sword and shield. And for our developer, the arsenal of choice is Delphi and its cross-platform framework, FireMonkey, or FMX for short. This is the dynamic duo that's going to help us conquer that cross-platform beast.
Now, the whole philosophy here is something called Rapid Application Development, or RAD. And what does that actually mean? It means speed. It's all about a visual-first approach, where you can literally just drag and drop buttons and lists and input boxes to build your interface, connect them with a bit of code, and boom, you have the working app. Incredibly fast.
And this is where that whole RAD philosophy really comes to life, the Delphi IDE. It's an environment built from the ground up to let you design an app once, visually, and then just compile that exact same project for Windows, iOS, Android, macOS, and Linux. You get to focus on the fun stuff, the logic and the design, and let Delphi sweat the small stuff and handle all those platform-specific details.
All right, time for our first big challenge on this quest, building a UI that doesn't just work, but actually looks and feels right, no matter what screen it's on. It has to be responsive, it has to adapt.
So the path to a responsive UI, it always starts with a solid foundation. In FireMonkey, that foundation is built with things called layouts. Just think of them as these invisible containers. Their only job in life is to organize and arrange all the visual controls that you put inside them. It's all about starting with good structure. Now here's where it gets really, really clever. In FireMonkey, you're not just placing a button at pixel 100 by 150. No. Instead, you get these powerful alignment properties. You can tell a button to always stick to the top, or to take up the entire left side of the screen, or to just fill whatever space is left over. This is the secret sauce for making UIs that just gracefully resize and reflow on any device.
Okay, now this is where your productivity goes through the roof. What you're looking at is the Live Bindings Designer. It lets you visually connect your data, say from a database, directly to something on the screen, like a list. See that line being drawn? That little line just replaced what could be dozens and dozens of lines of really tedious, boring code. The kind of code that takes hours to write and debug. Here, you just draw a line. It's a huge game changer.
So here's the big takeaway. With FireMonkey, you get to visually design a single user interface. And by using these layouts, alignments, and data bindings, you create something that just intelligently adapts to whatever platform, screen size, or orientation it's running on, all from one codebase. Pretty cool.
But hey, a beautiful app is totally useless if it's slow and clunky. So our quest now leads us to a dangerous new challenge. It's time to slay the performance dragons, those nasty little lags and drop frames that can turn a great app into a total frustration.
And believe me, these dragons are very, very real. This quote here is from a real support forum. It's talking about a known issue on Android 14 that can slow down how the UI is drawn by almost 2 times. This is what we're talking about. We mean janky frames, that horrible stuttering, unresponsive feeling that just makes an app feel broken. So, how do we fight this thing?
Well, FireMonkey's architecture is built for this exact battle. See, your app's user interface, all the buttons and scrolling, it runs on one critical main road called the UI thread. If you try to do some heavy lifting on that road, like downloading a big file, the entire app just freezes. Everything stops. Asynchronous processing is the answer. As you can see here, you offload that heavy work onto a separate background thread. This keeps the main UI thread totally free and clear to respond to the user, keeping the app feeling buttery smooth. Now, there is a trade-off. You have to manage the communication between those threads, which adds a little complexity. But the result, a fluid, professional-feeling app, is absolutely worth it.
Okay, our app is looking great, it's running fast, so now it's time to give it some superpowers. Let's see how our developer can take their app to a whole new level by plugging in the incredible power of modern generative AI.
So what is generative AI really? Well, at its core, you take these super advanced machine learning models like GPT-4, you train them on just mind-boggling amounts of data, and they learn the patterns so well that they can generate brand new, human-like content, whether that's text, code, or even images.
Now, plugging this into an app might sound super complex, but it really just boils down to 4 clear steps. 1, the user gives the AI a prompt. 2, your app talks to an AI service using a standard REST API. 3, you use FireMonkey to build a simple, clean interface for it. And 4, the AI does its magic and helps the user be more creative, whether that's busting through writer's block or creating some amazing visuals.
And this isn't just theory, right? Developers are building incredible tools with this stuff today. I'm talking about a songwriter AI that can generate lyrics from just a feeling, or an auto-blog AI that writes whole articles from a few keywords, or even an AI image upscaler that can add stunning, mind-blowing detail to old low-res photos. These are real features, and they're being built with FireMonkey.
And here we are, the final stage of our quest. The app is built, it's fast, it's smart. But the journey's not over. A true craftsperson masters their tools, and a great developer masters their code. It's time for that final polish to make sure what we've built is robust, maintainable, and truly professional. For this last leg of the journey, our developer turns to a wise mentor, a tool called Pascal Analyzer. You can think of it as a static analysis tool, which is a fancy way of saying it reads your code and acts like an expert reviewer, pointing out potential problems and helping you improve the overall quality of your work. So let's look at how this helps us build confidence in our code. A tool like this is basically an automated code review, and it catches those subtle but really critical issues. For instance, it can find unbalanced create and free calls. That's a classic cause of memory leaks that can crash your app or even slow down a user's whole computer. It finds redundant code you can just delete, making your app smaller and faster. It points out unused variables, which helps clean up the clutter. It even checks if you're following naming conventions, which is absolutely crucial for being able to maintain the code 6 months from now, especially if you're on a team. This isn't just about tidying up, it's about building a truly professional, reliable product.
And just like that, our developers' quest is complete. They've got the full arsenal, everything from crafting a beautiful, responsive UI to slaying performance dragons, unlocking AI superpowers, and truly mastering their own code. So the only question left is the one that kicks off every great new adventure. What problem are you going to solve next?